objected to it, and as a result, they decided that they would seek outside managerial management for, meaning outside non-King Ranch raised people to actually be the manager of the ranching division.
But it was a bit of shakeup because this guy was pretty well loved.
Oh, he's very well loved, and it was hard. There's a photo that was taken a day or two after of all of us, by with Tio and Janelle, his wife, all of the managers, in front of the little stable, and it was kind of a sad time, very, very sad time. I've got that photo in here. We can look at it. Yeah.
Did you have a moment with him where he was a little emotional about it or expressed himself?
Well, he was very. Yeah, he had this moment. He had us all gathered there, and we were we were all very, very friends. They were good friends, and yeah, it was emotional. It certainly was. But then here again, this is the thing I can say about Tio Kleberg. I don't know that he ever made a decision for King Ranch that was not at best in King Ranch interest. In other words, I think he put that in front of everything else. I truly believe that. And as a result, why, many respects, he wasn't really being paid for his loyalty, but on the other hand, I could also see the politics involved and what people were fearful of.
This was splashed on the cover of Texas Monthly.
Oh yes, it was. Certainly was, and yeah, other things too. Yeah, sure was.
Did they ever come asking you for the backstory?
Nope. No, there were too many other people that knew the backstory, and it wouldn't have been. No, I don't think it would have been good at all of me to even think about it, because here again, I was an employee. These other people were the owners of King Ranch.
So let's talk about Jameen.
Jameen, my wife Jameen.
Who was like a second mother to me.
Right.
A very big life force.
Yes.
In the neighborhood and the household.
Oh yes. Jameen and I met in 1961. In the summer, I was working for the government. This was between my junior and senior years in vet school. I was working for the USDA. And she was going to school at the University of Texas. I was working out of Austin where the USDA offices were. And she was friends with friends of mine. And as a result, we went out on a few dates and then together with them. And then we saw one another throughout the school year and remained correspondents, so to speak. While I was establishing a practice in Douglas, Arizona, and she was finishing her last year at Texas.
So one of the things that Jill loves about her and what I love about her is that she, the way she raised her sons. How would you describe Jameen and the way she ran the show?
Well, first of all, she was a teacher. And she was probably a born teacher, number one. Number two, she certainly had her definite ideas about things, and I had definite ideas about things too. But we did work things out. I told her one time, you got to discipline these boys, number one, because at some point they're going to be looking down at you. They're going to be taller than you are. They're going to be looking at you. So you've got to get their attention first, and as a result, she did. She let them be boys, but on the other hand, she wanted the boys to be gentlemen, so to speak, and she did a wonderful job raising them in that respect.
Fine balance.
Yes, it was, but yeah, she here again, she just knew what she was doing.
How would you describe her personality?
She's very outgoing, in many ways very forceful. She knew what she wanted, and she worked to get it. Yeah, she could be very diplomatic, but she also had a lot of times very much a motive behind it. Yes.
And
She could be a little manipulative.
hey, I got one of those too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it goes with the genes, frankly. Yeah.
What do you think that did for the boys growing up?
I think it did. I think it did a lot for them. You know, we were partners. There wasn't a dominant individual in the house. I had my. I think I had. There were times when I was certainly the boss, and there were certainly times when she was the boss, and probably she was the boss more times than I was the boss. You know. Yeah, but that's the way it was. She was certainly very, very much a force.
Pretty practical too. I remember her saying, you know, if I died overseas, we don't want the boys to come.
Oh, well, that's true. You know, when we talked about going to China with your parents, you know, just in case something bad happened to us while we were over there, don't spend any money bringing us back because we're there. We can just stay right there. Yeah. Well, we knew because some people that we knew had a problem. A daughter, they were visiting in Europe, and a daughter died in Belgium, and it was a terrible, terrible, terrible problem getting her body back to the U.S. It took a long time. It cost a tremendous amount of money and a tremendous amount of heartache and grief.
But how do you describe that type of style of practicality that you guys have?
Well, I think here again, this came from the way we were raised. You know, there was just an idea that some things made sense and other things didn't, and didn't make sense to bring a corpse back from China that would be difficult to do.
Bury me on a lone prairie.
Bury me on a lone prairie, exactly. Here's another thing.
Yeah.
We visited the grave. Jameen and I visited the grave of a friend who actually was the person after whom we named Dell. This man's name was Dell Baumfock, and Dell died probably in...
Wait a second. What was his name?
Dell Baumfock. Bohmfalk.
He got some flack about his name.
And he was a deputy sheriff. He was a deputy sheriff of Cochise County, Arizona. And Dell was a great guy, a great friend to us. But we returned to Douglas, where we'd lived where we married. We returned there several years after Dell had died, and his son offered to take us out to the burial site. And we went out there, and he had a hard time finding that grave. He hadn't been out, to visit this grave. And so we thought, this was certainly embarrassing for Jerry, but on the other hand, it also taught us a good lesson that, grave sites aren't a hot topic or are not a wonderful place to spend a lot of time visiting. So why have one?
Why'd you name Dell after Dell Baumfock?
Just because Dell came 6 weeks early and we hadn't thought about a name for it. And while Jameen was in labor and Dell was coming 6 weeks early, we decided, actually after he was born, we didn't know it was going to be a boy or a girl. So after he was born, we said, well, this and that, let's just name him Dell. And she liked that very much.
After this guy?
After Dell Baumfock,
yeah. What's the significance of this guy?
Just because he was a good friend to both of us. Yeah, he really was.
Was he alive at the time, Dell?
Yeah, oh yeah, he was alive at the time, yeah.
Was he honored to?
I think so, yes, because I think so, certainly, yeah.
Take a little more time spending on the name of your first child, though, I guess.
Well, Philip was James Philip, because both of our fathers, Jameen's father was James Reno, my father was James Toelkes. So that was easy. My middle name is Philip, and she also had a good friend to whom a young man named Philip Caruth, who her father, after her mother died, her father married Philip Caruth's mother. And Jameen and her sister Sheila and Philip Carruth were very, very, very good friends. So she wanted to name him Philip. My middle name was Philip. His name was one L. My name is two. Well, I've got two L's in mine.
Gotcha. So I'm just curious, when Jameen knew she was going, she was pretty practical about it.
Yes, very practical about it. And she had several health issues. She had some arthritis in her spine. She had some arthritis in her feet, and Jameen's mother died when Jameen was about 18. And her mother had gone through some serious surgeries because of abdominal cancer. Probably cancer of the colon. And her mother had a colostomy. And this was in the 50s, and probably about 1957 or 58, long before I knew Jameen. And I think that made a great impression on her, that this colostomy, all this rigor of this surgeries and all the discomfort and pain that her mother went through, I think that Jameen decided she didn't want any of that. Excuse me. And she could possibly have had heart surgery to repair the valve in her heart that was leaking, but she chose not to because she didn't think that she would have a good recovery or a productive life afterwards, after the surgery.
What'd she say to you?
So she chose that she would just go into hospice, and she'd stop the medication and let nature take its course.
How'd you feel about that?
It was her decision. I certainly couldn't argue with her about it. If this is what she wanted to do, this is what she was going to do. It was easy for me because she'd made this decision and I supported it fully. I knew how she felt about these things, and I knew she didn't. She was going to be active. She wanted to be active.
So when as she was saying goodbye, what kind of words did she leave you with?
I'm not sure there were any real words that were left. I think it was all pretty well, had already been said. Through the years, it had already been said. I think we had a very good understanding of what each one of us thought about these things, and there didn't have to be a great deal of discussion about it. She saw the girls. She wanted to have some time with both Sarah and Hannah. Sarah was away at school. When Sarah came home, Jameen had spent a day with them pretty well, and 2 days later she died.
She spent some time with the boys?
Oh yeah, certainly with the boys because they were both here. But she had her time with the boys. The girls were very important to her at that time. Very, very important to her at that time.
What did she say to you?
She said, that's it. We're on the way.
How did she say goodbye?
Well, we didn't. Didn't say goodbye. Yeah.
That's interesting. Does that come from all the practicality?
Who knows? It's just one of those things. There was not a goodbye situation because we knew it was going to happen. We just didn't know when.
No. Hey, thanks for the memories.
Nope, none of that, because the memories were all too good, and I didn't want to dwell on any of this, and she didn't either.
Yeah. How was the transition into John Toelkes?
Well, when something like this happens to you, we were married for 51 years. There's just a great hunk taken out of your life and out of your body. There is no doubt about that. And it took several months before I even, I just kind of walked around in about a half of a fog, or a little bit oblivious for a long time. Yeah, really did.
You feel like you're kind of out of it? And
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I am. But then again, when you get old like this, who knows? Who knows how well you think? Go ahead.
But you're how old now, right?
Yes.
You're
4.
You're 84, but in very good condition.
Oh, luck. Genes have been good to me. Yeah. My younger sister Kathleen, she's 6 years younger than I am. Kathleen's probably healthier than I am. Yeah, very fortunate in that respect.
So what do you want to do now with your life?
Well, I just want to enjoy my life. I'd have really no big wants, no big needs. I do some traveling with Philip and Kathy. I'll probably go to South Texas a little bit later on this year for a few days, and I'll just take it as it comes.
So when you reflect upon everything you've done, from living in Peru and working on the ranch and raising guys and having granddaughters,
I've been incredibly lucky because I've had just a tremendous amount of fun, very few heartaches. It's just been fantastic. I had wonderful parents. My 2 sisters and I always got along well. No problems there whatsoever. Jamine's family, she was very close to her sister and her sister's children, and so there's just been very, very little strife.
So what's the secret to life, Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Well, the secret to life, I think, is you're going to have upsets, you're going to have setbacks, but if you have an idea of what you want to do, go ahead and do it and keep plugging and you'll get there. I truly believe that. I think the whole thing is don't give up. Just keep going.
Thanks, sir.
Keep on doing.